Lake Hillier, located on Middle Island in Australia, has a stunning bubblegum pink colour that doesn't change even when the water is removed. Scientists believe the colour comes from a special type of algae and bacteria that thrive in its salty waters. Despite its unusual appearance, the lake is completely safe to swim in. In Home Alone, Buzz's girlfriend was actually a boy. The filmmakers thought it would be too mean to use a real girl, so they had the art director's son dress up for the photo instead. E.T.'s voice was partly made by an elderly woman who smoked a lot. The iconic voice of E.T. was created using sound bites from actress Pat Welsh, who had a raspy voice due to years of smoking. The horse's heart attack in The Godfather was real. The production used a real horse's head, which they got from a dog food factory. The actors' screams of horror were 100% genuine. The actors in the Blair Witch Project thought they were really in danger. The directors intentionally messed with the actors, giving them less food and leading them to creepy locations without much explanation to heighten their paranoia. In The Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man's original actor had to be replaced because the makeup almost killed him. Buddy Ebsen, the first Tin Man, was hospitalized after the aluminum dust in his makeup caused severe lung issues. The snowfall scene in The Wizard of Oz may look magical, but it was actually made using asbestos-based fake snow, a common but dangerous Hollywood trick at the time. In A Clockwork Orange, the infamous eye drop torture scene was extra horrifying because Malcolm McDowell's eyes were actually held open with metal clamps. He suffered temporary blindness after filming it. There's a species of fungus that turns ants into zombies. A fungus infects ants and controls their movements. It's like something straight out of a horror movie, except it's real. In 2007, a robber smashed a $280,000 Porsche through a Malaysian car showroom window, then abandoned it nearby when it ran out of gas. He kept the keys, brought gas to the police station where the car was impounded, and stole the car again. The Eiffel Tower grows in summer. Heat expands the iron, adding 6 inches. In winter, it shrinks back down. It's all because of thermal expansion. Bet you never noticed that. There's a hotel in Canada made entirely of ice. The Hotel de Glace in Quebec is rebuilt every winter and melts away in spring. In space, you can't burp. Without gravity, gas and liquid in your stomach don't separate, so burping could get messy. Bubble wrap was originally invented as wallpaper. It was supposed to be textured wallpaper but failed, leading to its packaging use. Your skin renews itself every 28 days. That's why you constantly shed dead skin cells. You would weigh less on the moon. Gravity on the moon is only about 1/6 that of Earth. To avoid being eaten by the female, some male spiders will often tie her up before mating. A cloud can weigh over 1,000,000 pounds. Even though clouds look light and fluffy, they are actually super heavy. A typical cumulus cloud weighs around 1.1 million pounds, 500,000 kilograms, because of all the tiny water droplets it holds. But since the weight is spread out over a huge area, gravity doesn't pull it down, it floats. Butterflies taste with feet. Butterflies can taste with their feet. Their taste sensors are located on their feet, allowing them to detect the chemical composition of leaves and decide where to lay eggs. Butterflies taste with feet. Butterflies can taste with their feet. Their taste sensors are located on their feet, allowing them to detect the chemical composition of leaves and decide where to lay eggs. The mudskipper, a unique amphibious fish, can survive both in water and on land. It uses its strong pectoral fins to walk across mudflats, leap into the air, and even climb small branches. Mudskippers breathe through their skin and mouth lining, but only if they stay moist, so they often roll in mud to avoid drying out. Botanically speaking, a berry is a fruit that develops from a single flower with one ovary and has seeds inside. Bananas, kiwis, and even eggplants fit this definition. But strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries don't. They come from flowers with multiple ovaries, making them not true berries. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Sloths are surprisingly good at holding their breath. They can stay underwater for up to 40 minutes, which is longer than a dolphin. This ability allows them to move slowly and safely through water when needed, using their long claws to cling to branches above the water's surface. Some turtles can breathe through their butts. Certain turtle species, like the Australian Fitzroy River turtle, can absorb oxygen through their cloaca. allowing them to stay underwater for long periods without surfacing for air. Sharks existed before. Trees sharks have been around for over 400 million years, while the first trees only appeared around 350 million years ago. That means sharks have been swimming in Earth's oceans before forests even existed. Sea otters hold hands. While sleeping to prevent drifting apart while floating in the water, sea otters hold hands or wrap themselves in kelp to stay close together as they sleep. Male seahorses give birth. Seahorses are the only species where the males get pregnant and give birth. The female deposits eggs into the male's pouch, and he carries them until they hatch into tiny baby seahorses. A group of crows is called a murder. Crows are highly intelligent and social birds, and when they gather in groups, it's called a murder. The term comes from old folklore, but in reality, crows are playful, clever, and even capable of recognizing human faces.
Cleopatra was more than beautiful. She was brilliant. She spoke 9 languages, studied science and philosophy, and even wrote about medicine. Cleopatra was Greek, not Egyptian. She came from the Ptolemaic dynasty, but was the only ruler to learn Egyptian. Cleopatra used custom perfumes made from rare flowers and oils to impress rulers. Some researchers may have even recreated her signature scent. To meet Caesar, Cleopatra hid in a rolled-up carpet and was delivered to his palace. When unrolled, she made a legendary entrance.
A sloth's digestive system is so slow, it can take weeks to poop. Sloths have the slowest metabolism of any mammal, meaning they only poop about once a week. They even climb down from trees to do their business, making it one of their most dangerous activities. You'd never guess Cleopatra wasn't just a queen. She was a genius. She spoke 9 languages and studied science and philosophy. To meet Julius Caesar, she hid inside a rolled-up carpet. When unrolled, she made a legendary entrance. She used custom perfumes to leave a lasting impression. Bet you didn't know that. Think you're right. Some believe they've recreated her scent today. She ruled Egypt but was actually Greek. She was the only Ptolemaic ruler to learn Egyptian. More than a queen, she was a strategist, leader, and legend. This is insane. Elephants might be smarter than you think. They recognize themselves in mirrors. They mourn their dead just like humans. They even use tools to solve problems. They talk through vibrations in the ground. Some people still think they're just big animals, but you already knew all of this, right? Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 hearts pump to the gills. 1 heart pumps to the body. When they swim, 1 heart stops. Sounds impossible, right? It's called the triple point. At a perfect pressure, water boils and freezes at the same time. Science is wild. Wow. Horses and cows can't vomit. Their digestive systems are built differently. Once food goes down, it's not coming back up. If they eat something bad, they can't just throw it up. Instead, their bodies have to process it another way. That's why their diet is so important. Bet you never thought about this before. What other animals can't vomit? Some jellyfish can live forever. The Turritopsis dawni jellyfish can reverse its aging process. Instead of dying, it transforms back into a baby. This process can happen over and over again. Scientists are studying it to understand aging. Imagine if humans could do that. Ants can survive inside a microwave. Unlike food, they don't heat up. Microwaves work by exciting water molecules. Ants are too small to absorb enough energy. They also dodge the heat zones. So, no, microwaves aren't ant killers. A blue whale's heartbeat is heard 2 miles away. Their heart weighs nearly 400 pounds. Each beat pumps hundreds of gallons of blood. When diving, it slows to 2 beats per minute. It's the biggest heart on Earth.
In 1907, a Mexican railroad brakeman named Jesus Garcia saved the entire town of Nacozari by single-handedly driving a damaged and burning train containing dynamite 6 kilometers away from the town before it finally exploded, killing him.
A writer was upset by an online review of his book. His anger grew until he couldn't let it go. So he travelled to Scotland, located the reviewer, and found the store where she worked. Then he attacked her with a wine bottle, turning a bad review into real-life violence. But instead of revenge, all he got was jail time and a reputation worse than any review.
If you started with 1 cent and doubled your money every day, it would only take 28 days to become a millionaire. In 2017, 6 Georgia inmates on work detail saw their deputy sheriff collapse unconscious on the roadside. They could have taken his gun and fled with the work van, but instead they made a different choice. Using the deputy's own phone, they quickly called 911 and stayed by his side until help arrived. Paramedics arrived, and thanks to the inmate's quick thinking, the deputy survived. In gratitude, the sheriff's office threw them a pizza party and even recommended reduced sentences. Since she was 11, she had lived in darkness, adapting to a world she could no longer see. She had learned to navigate life without sight, relying on touch, memory, and routine. But one day, a simple accident, she hit her head on a coffee table, changed everything. Moments later, something felt different. Shapes, colors, and light started returning. For the first time in decades, she could see again. A miracle she never expected. It all began with one woman in Strasbourg, dancing endlessly, unable to stop. Soon dozens joined in, dancing uncontrollably as if under a strange curse. Doctors believed more dancing was the cure, so they hired musicians to keep them moving. For days they danced without rest, some collapsing from exhaustion, others never waking up. And just as strangely as it began, dancing stopped. Mystery unsolved to this day.
Music created by waves. What if the sea could play music? This sea organ makes waves play music as they flow through tubes. Every wave creates a unique melody that echoes across the coast. As visitors sit and listen, the music changes with every wave. Symphony created by nature itself. The sea plays its song. Do you still remember? The Nokia 1100 sold over 250 million units, making it the best-selling mobile phone in history. He fought back. A man in China decided to retaliate against his upstairs neighbor's constant noise by purchasing a building shaker online and installing it on his ceiling. It is designed to produce strong vibrations, mimicking the sound of someone drilling into the floor. Weird. Power didn't change him. When Barack Obama was president, he made a habit of having dinner with his family at 6:30 p.m. every night. After this became known, many White House staff members also started prioritizing family dinners. One act changed everything. When Keanu Reeves was filming The Matrix, he regularly gave up his seat on the crew shuttle bus for others. Soon, more cast and crew members began doing the same. Where magic was written. When J.K. Rowling was writing Harry Potter as a struggling single mother, she often wrote in a cafe. Over time, more aspiring writers began frequenting the same cafe, inspired by her dedication. Family over everything. When Bill Gates' daughter started kindergarten, he dropped her off at school in the mornings while still Microsoft's CEO. Within a few weeks, other dads at the school began to drop their children off in the mornings instead of their wives. Rogers' morning influence. When Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, swam every morning at his local pool, other early risers at the pool started adopting a similar morning routine after seeing his discipline. Do you still remember? The Nokia 1100 sold over 250 million units, making it the best-selling mobile phone in history. Beckham made Dad show up. When David Beckham started personally dropping his kids off at school, other celebrity parents in the area followed suit, prioritizing hands-on parenting. One act, many followed. When Tom Hanks was spotted picking up trash while on a walk in New York, bystanders started doing the same, creating a spontaneous mini cleanup. One touch changed everything. When Princess Diana decided to shake hands with an AIDS patient without gloves in 1987, she changed public perception, and many others followed her lead in treating HIV-positive individuals with kindness.